what makes the difference between a billionaire? I mean, I've done research into that too. What makes the difference between a billionaire and a poor man? No, what's the definition? One. His desire to receive is never diminished. He thinks big, they say, right? He thinks big. What does it mean he thinks big? Everybody can think big. Everyone can think big. Is that difficult? No. The difference between one and the other is what the Ari is telling us. The one fellow says he thinks big, and the minute the intelligence comes, says, what do you mean you're going to think big? How are you going to arrange such financing? I can't already think of 200 million. I've got to think of 20 million I can handle. The other fellow doesn't move away from what he saw, 200 million, and now he says, I'm going to have to work it out. I'm going to stick to that, and now I'm going to have to work it out. The chances are he will work it out. Why? Because true chachma, kulam b'chachma sita. That means the fulfillment is already there. What came first? The way I'm going to develop it, or the way it's already developed? What? That's right. That's right. It's already completed. If it's completed, why are you settling for less? It's already destined to be this way. Why are you settling for less?
We're the one who's going to make it manifest.
That's right. That's why it came to you and not to somebody else. But then in comes our intelligence, meaning the ears and the nose and the mouth, meaning all of these levels, meaning what? Of reduction into the understanding of what? Not of what I originally thought, but now I've got to focus it. I've got to make this certain that it'll work. See, I know I can chew off this much, he says. I can't chew off too much, and it's an expression. Don't chew off. So what does that mean? Maybe it's true. Does that mean he should chew off more than he can handle? Not even that. What's that? That's right. Or, more important than that, what was his original thought? His original thought was, you can handle $50 million. Then he says, but wait a second, that was the original thought. Why, if I can handle 50, I can't handle 100? That's where he makes his mistake. That's chewing off too much. So it doesn't contradict. It doesn't contradict. You must go back to the original consciousness. What was your original consciousness? How much can you handle? I must tell you, they told me, the way I feel, you got to bring Mashiach, Spread the word of Kabbalah. You bring Mashiach. Yeah. I never go down from that. I can go down. Oh, we can open up another branch and another branch. All of this has nothing to do with that one objective. Do we really believe we can bring Mashiach tomorrow? The truth. That the world is going to change tomorrow. Anybody here believe that? I believe that. Tomorrow. If I didn't believe tomorrow, then I would get involved with... I don't want to get involved with that. When you don't get involved with that, then the other things are also working out because they have already been worked out before. Now it only depends on how much you want to reduce what they originally gave you. If they didn't give you that, then you shouldn't go for that. Because everyone has his objective. It doesn't make one better or worse, by the way, or one smaller or one bigger. Again, don't get caught up in that kind of a trip. If he was told he could build an empire of $50 billion, right? And the other one says, no, only $1 million. So he should have this ego, and because each one has a particular function. The one of $1 million, or the one who has to do one little mitzvah, his one little mitzvah of telling the fellow who comes over and he's got an important appointment, and until he's going to talk out, what time it is, and it's going to take time. He'll be late for his appointment, and that's the only mitzvah he has, is just to tell this poor fellow what time it is. That's as equally important as one who's got 10,000 mitzvot to do, or to bring Mashiach. In other words, this is not to be measured, because this already, again, you fall into the trap of ego. That's an ego trip. Whatever one feels, or whatever one has been told on the level of Chachma consciousness, this is your objective. It doesn't make you bigger, and doesn't make you a greater person because you have more to accomplish. On the contrary, the fellow only has that idea to tell what time it is. He already had accomplished so much more into the cosmos, infused so much more positivity throughout the past lifetimes. All he's got is left. This fellow has been given such a great task. You know why? Because he's accomplished so little in the prior incarnation. So who's more important? Who's more important? The fellow who only has that left is way ahead of the fellow who's now got this big job. And whether he accomplishes or not is already debatable. So these are the two sides that we have to constantly be in observation. Not easy. All right?